Hey everyone, my name is Gavin and I love horror. In a year where most big horror releases have been delayed due to COVID, it can be hard to get your bigger budget horror fix. One movie that was released, however, was Freaky, a fun take on the Freaky Friday body switch trope. But was this a high spot in a year of canceled horror, or should it have been canceled forever? Let's get into it. Freaky follows the story of high school student Millie, played by Kathryn Newton, doing a Freaky Friday body switch with a serial killer named the Blissfield Butcher, played wonderfully by Vince Vaughn. The movie was directed by Christopher Landon, best known for the Happy Death Day movies, also produced by Blumhouse. And the fingerprints of Happy Death Day are all over Freaky, which is fine with me because I absolutely love those movies. However, unlike Happy Death Day, this movie is rated R, so it gets to be a little meaner. The plot of Freaky revolves around Millie, now in the Butcher's body, trying to get switched back to her sweet teenage girl self. Meanwhile, the Butcher gets to live it up in a new body that no one would ever suspect. What makes the movie work for me is that Vince Vaughn is very committed to portraying a teenage girl trapped in a serial killer's body. He could have handed up, but he actually does a very, very good and very funny portrayal. Freaky is very funny, and the jokes feel earned, as opposed to when some horror movies try to infuse humor only for it to fall flat or feel super forced. Like, I'm thinking about the Friday the 13th remake. I like the movie, but the humor, not good. Likewise, Kathryn Newton switching it up and playing the sadistic Blissfield Butcher is also great. You realize just how hard it must have been for the actors to play these very different personalities. Or as I like to call it, face-off acting.
I'd like to take his face off.
As for the kills, there are some truly brutal and graphic ones in Freaky. The opening scene features someone having a wine bottle shoved down their throat and then having the bottle smashed. Definitely one of the more creative kills I've seen in horror. One thing that I was worried about in Freaky was how we'd feel about Millie's character once the Butcher in her body started killing people. The movie circumvents this by having the Butcher as Millie only kill people who were dicks to Millie. If someone is a dick to you, you are legally allowed to put them on a table saw. I do feel as though that the kills got a little toned down as Freaky went on. It opened so strong that I was sure we were in for 100 minutes of pure horror violence. But aside from the opening and the aforementioned table saw, it was relatively tame. One aspect that I didn't really care for or understand was how the ancient dagger played into everything. The dagger is what causes the switch between the characters, but it's not explained very well of why the Butcher wanted the dagger, or if he just happened to steal it from the house in the beginning or whatever. The dagger just felt like something that had to be there for the story to make sense, and it felt very tacked on, like there could have been other ways to get there besides this very complicated dagger story. Overall, I really enjoyed Freaky, and Blumhouse has another hit on their hand. I love that they take these movies with relatively small budgets and just let directors have fun with them. That's what I love about the Blumhouse style of creating horror movies. That's why Jason Blum is one of the best horror producers working right now. The cast is great, the supporting cast is very funny, Vince Vaughn absolutely kills it in this movie, Kathryn Newton is amazing, she's gonna go on to be in the Marvel Universe now, so that's awesome. So this movie was definitely a launching pad for her, so good for her. Overall though, love this movie. What did you think though? Did you like Freaky? Did you love it? Or did you feel it was kind of like, it was just okay? Regardless, you should definitely check out Freaky on my recommendation. It's available now. It's still in theaters if you want to like risk the COVID to go see it in a theater, but it's also streaming now on demand, which is how I watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, where you can rent it for like 20 bucks. So yeah, definitely check it out. But what did you think? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you not care? Let me know in the comments below. Also be sure to subscribe to this channel. Leave that like button. If you really want to, you can hit the bell icon. You don't have to, but if you want to, I'd appreciate it. But until next time, stay weird.